Our youngest has had the hardest time. Had like an IEP, was tested in the very beginning and was put in this box that she'll, has to always fall in this alignment. She's always going to need this. And you cannot homeschool her or take her home because you don't know, you're not trained in how to deal with like her different learning stuff. And so gosh, by third grade, she would come home and she would have marks on like the inside of her legs. And even her front tooth was starting to protrude out because she was so stressed in class that she would bite on her pencil so hard it actually moved her front teeth, or she'd squeeze the inside of her leg because she was so stressed. And I came home one day and I said, I'm done, I can't do it. I can't make her go another day to school. And that little girl, to watch her learn now, and we were just in a writing class this morning, and she stood in front of the class and read, which she would have never done that before. That she has that experience, that it completely changed how she's going to see life in the future.
One of the things that some people have said before, that the reason they don't want to do homeschool is because, I don't get along with my kids, or I couldn't stand being around my kids that long. And I think one of the things that they don't realize is your kids are turning out to be a product of the school system, and that's what you don't like. So by taking your kids and taking them home and starting to educate them at home, they're going to change, and they're going to start to become more like the kids that you want to have, that you want to be around and you want to spend time with. And so the people that really have a fractured relationship with their kid, I really attribute a lot of that to public school and how different our kids are because of the homeschooling. If you're thinking, I don't want to homeschool because I already have conflict with my kids, after a year, your kids are going to be different people.
There's so many parents that abdicate their rights as parenting. They just want to drop them off at church on Sundays and have them educated spiritually, scripturally, and then they want to drop them off at school Monday through Friday and have them completely educated. And then when their child acts out, they want to blame the school or the church. Or you hear people say we need Christian kids in public schools to be lights. And our pastor said, your children are sponges until they're 18, 19, 20. And so we send our kids, 5 days a week into a public school environment thinking they're going to be a light when they're at that age where their thoughts are still forming and who they are is still forming. And so I'm not going to let someone who doesn't love the Lord or doesn't have the same moral convictions that Brandon and I do to speak that into my children for
6 or 7 hours
a day.
Yep.
Yeah, and then I'm going to come home for 3 hours and shove homework down their throats and then think, why don't I have an impact on my kid's life?
You just do the math on how many hours you get with your kid versus the public school system, and it really is impacting.
And to those that are sitting on the fence to homeschool, I think we're in a time where we need to start standing up for our families, and we need to take huge steps. And I don't care whatever your relationship is with your children. God gave us these children to raise. The honor of being a parent, that God chose us to be a parent of these 4 ridiculously amazing kids, I have to take that super seriously.